If you've been Googling, what is it like living in Prince George? You've probably seen the same mix of things. Super affordable houses, scary crime headlines, and photos of very snowy driveways. You're not crazy for feeling torn. In this video, I'm going to give you honest, straight-up answers to the 10 most common questions I get about living in Prince George. We'll cover cost of living, jobs, weather, air quality, safety, and more. By the end, you'll know whether living in Prince George fits your family, your lifestyle, and your budget. So let's dive in to the top 10 questions about living in Prince George. Question 1. What is the cost of living in Prince George? Prince George is genuinely one of the more affordable cities in British Columbia and in Canada overall. Recent comparisons show the overall cost of living here is significantly lower than the BC average and also lower than the Canadian average, with housing being the biggest driver of that difference. That means your mortgage or rent usually takes up a lot less of your monthly income than it would in the Lower Mainland or in many larger cities across Canada. On top of that, gas prices in Prince George are frequently in the lowest in the province, which really adds up if you're commuting or driving kids around activities. So when you hear me talk about using Prince George to buy right, that's what I mean. More room in your budget to actually live your life. Check out our cost of living videos to learn more. Question 2. What is the job market like? Prince George isn't a one-industry town. The economy is still strongly tied to forestry and wood products, but you also see major employers in healthcare, education, government, transportation, and retail or manufacturing. If you work in fields like nursing, trades, teaching, public service, or logistics, there are steady opportunities here. We're home to the University of Northern British Columbia and the College of New Caledonia, plus a regional hospital and a lot of supporting services. There's also growing flexibility for remote workers. You get reasonable housing costs, high-speed internet, and an international airport for when you need to travel. So the short answer, the job market is diverse and stable, especially for healthcare, trades, and public sector roles. Question 3. Is Prince George a good place for families? For most families I talk to, the answer is yes, as long as you're okay with a colder climate. You get affordable detached homes, access to good schools, and a lot of parks and green space. The city has many parks and recreational facilities, plus strong minor sports and community programs. Because the cost of living is lower, families can often move from a small condo in a big city into a full house with a yard here, without dramatically changing their budget. Lifestyle-wise, it's very Canadian family. Hockey rinks, playgrounds, trails, and community events, rather than big city nightlife. Question 4. Can you live in Prince George without a car? Technically, yes. In reality, a car is generally recommended. Prince George does have public transit and some neighborhoods where you can walk to groceries, work, or school. But the city is spread out, and a lot of the most popular family neighborhoods are up the hill or out from the core. If you choose to live near downtown, the hospital, or the university, you can get away with fewer drives, but if you want the full mix of housing choice, schools, activities, most people find having at least one vehicle per household makes life much easier here. Question 5. What is the weather really like? This is where we keep it honest. Prince George has 4 true seasons, with a real winter. Typically January, temperatures are well below freezing, and it's not unusual to see stretches dipping below -20. Summers are pleasantly warm, with average highs in the low 20s and occasional heat waves above 30. Practically, that means you'll want winter tires, a block heater, and a snow brush in your car. You'll be shoveling your driveway and dressing in layers. The trade-off is bright, sunny winter days and warm, dry summers that are great for camping, lakes, and patio time. If you absolutely hate snow, this is not the city for you. If you can embrace winter sports, it becomes a lot more fun. Question 6. What are the different neighborhoods like? Think of Prince George as a set of distinct zones rather than one big blur. You've got family hubs like College Heights and Heritage with mostly 1970s to 1990s single-family homes, schools, and parks. Then there are investor-focused areas with older housing stock and more opportunity for suites and value-add projects. You also have rural-style areas just outside the city limits where people buy acreage and still drive 15 to 30 minutes into town for work and school. Each area has its own vibe, price point, and street-by-street differences. That's where local guidance really matters. Question 7. What is the recreational and outdoor lifestyle like? This is one of the biggest perks of living in Prince George. Within about 30 minutes of the town, you've got lakes like Ness Lake, Tabor Lake, and West Lake for swimming, paddling, and skating in the winter. There are multiple ski hills within driving distance, cross-country ski trails at 𝘮𝑚, mountain biking at 𝘮𝑚, hiking all around, and hundreds of local parks and green spaces. Prince George is known for having a very strong recreational culture. People here actually use their free time. Because commute times are shorter and housing is more affordable, you often have more time and money to spend on activities you love. Question 8. What is the air quality like? Prince George has a history of air quality concerns because of industry, geography, and winter inversions. That's the honest backdrop. The good news is that there's been a lot of work over the last couple of decades to monitor and improve quality through groups like the Prince George Air Quality Improvement Roundtable, which brings together government, industry, and community partners to reduce emissions and track progress. You can now check real-time air quality data online before heading out, and the long-term trend has been towards gradual improvement. But it's still a factor worth being aware of, especially if anyone in your family has respiratory issues. Question 9. What are the commutes like? This is where Prince George really feels different from bigger cities. Most people here have commutes around 15 minutes or less, and the average round-trip commute is about half hour. There is a rush hour, but it usually means a few extra minutes at the main intersections, not 90 minutes stuck on a bridge. A lot of residents describe it as a 15-minute city in practice. Work, school, groceries, and activities are all relatively close together. That short commute is a huge part of what I call time wealth. It's the difference between seeing your kids before bed or not. Question 10. How safe is Prince George? Safety is usually the question people are most nervous to ask. Statistically, Prince George has had a high crime index than the national average, but recent reports show that index has been trending down with noticeable drops in some years. The key nuance here is crime is not evenly spread across the city. Certain downtown blocks and specific cities and older neighborhoods see more issues, while many family areas, like College Heights or Heritage, feel very typical and safe for day-to-day life. You don't live in the statistics, you live on your street. My job with relocators is to help you understand those street-by-street differences so you can feel secure where you land. If you've watched this far, you're probably trying to decide if moving to Prince George is the right move for your family. Here's my honest take. If you're looking for big city life, zero snow, and endless restaurant options, you're going to be frustrated here. But if you want affordable housing, short commutes, real four-season outdoor living, and a community-oriented city, Prince George can be an incredible fit. I hope this deep dive gave you the straight local insight you needed to feel secure and supported in your next decision. If you found value here, share the video with a friend who's also considering a move, or tell me what Prince George topic I should handle next. The easiest way to connect is to call, text, or email. All the details are on the screen. Make sure you tap that subscribe button and bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.